Today is the last day of classes for my undergraduate career. I have one more assignment to turn in that also counts as a final, and I have one final, well, actual final, and I will be done on May 8th. I have no idea how to feel because obviously with everything going on in the world, graduation isn't really a thing. It's not gonna happen, like right after I'm done with classes like it normally would. Instead, it's happening in October, which I'm really grateful for the fact that I still have a graduation, but I'm kind of almost done with my undergraduate career and I don't think it's quite hit me. There's a lot to my undergraduate career. There's a lot to my senior year that's definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. So this might be a whole jumbled mess. This whole vlog might be a jumbled mess, but I wanted to record the last week of my undergraduate career because it's kind of an important thing. I think people should get to see that and what it's like to graduate in 2020 from college as a senior with a degree in journalism and a minor in creative writing, what that's gonna be like. Wow, okay. Yeah, so as you can see, I just finished my last class of my undergraduate career. Still don't know how to feel about that. Still weird. That's my last class. I'm like 97% of the way done. That's it. So one of the things I wanted to do before I left, and this was an idea I had toyed with since the beginning of the spring semester, I wanted to write an open letter to the people of Messiah for a multitude of reasons, partly because I don't think we've had one in a really long time from the editor-in-chief, and also because I am part of the last graduating class of Messiah College. As of July 1st, 2020, Messiah will be Messiah University, and I'm the last graduating class of Messiah College, which is a huge milestone, and I'm really glad that I was able to be a part of that and to be, part of a group of people who will get to come back in October for actual graduation and say, well, back in my day it was Messiah College, and all the jokes like that. But I wanted to write an open letter, and this is my second open letter. I wrote one pretty close to when campus shut down, and I can link that above or below in the description if you want to go read that. And by the time this vlog comes out, this second open letter will also be out. I thought it would be nice to read you guys the first two paragraphs, and anything after you guys can go read the article for yourselves. It's not the most professional, but it's more from the heart than pretty much anything else that I've written for the Pulse is, and I think me leaving this as one of the last pieces of work I will ever publish with the Pulse is fitting. I have my laptop right here, and I will be reading this. After 4 years, I can't believe my time at Messiah is coming to an end. It has been an amazing experience and a crazy time for me, and I wanted to leave you guys with something before I officially hand the reins over to Brian Schurmeyer, the next editor-in-chief. Without a normal graduation right after finals, it definitely hasn't quite hit me yet that I will no longer be a student after May 16th, 2020. My last final was on the 8th, so I consider myself officially done by then. 16 years of being a student have come to an end, and I have no idea what my future will look like. I'm scared, excited, hopeful, and all the other feelings that come with moving forward to the next chapter of my life. Like I said, I will link this so that you can read it. It means a lot to me to be reflecting on my time at Messiah, even though I'm not doing it on campus. I wouldn't really have been doing this on campus, well, sort of, to begin with. I would have been on campus for class. Living off campus, I already had a very different experience of my senior year, and with quarantine and with everything being shut down, I've had the luxury of being in my apartment, and that has created a very different kind of senior year experience. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It's something that very few other students are ever going to be able to compare their senior year to. Like high school seniors are experiencing
a similar thing. They're also going through not having a graduation, and they're also experiencing a loss for all the things they didn't get to do and didn't get to experience and didn't get to say, and the people they didn't get to see. I'm very grateful that Messiah is still doing a graduation for us in October, and as long as I'm in the country, I'm gonna be attending. But I think there's something different for us seniors of college who are graduating into a job market that is still figuring out if it's wanting to open yet. It's scary and it's weird, but I have a lot of faith that things are gonna go well. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing much I can do about it. Like, I can, there's obviously things I can do to occupy my time with, but I don't have control over whether or not I'm gonna get hired. And giving up that control is not easy. Especially if you know me, you know that I love control. I don't really know what this vlog is gonna be. I have one final assignment, and I will take you guys on a bit of the behind the scenes as I film that and edit that, and when I take my actual final, and then I'm officially done. And it's gonna be really weird to be officially done, because this is not how I imagined graduating. At least this maybe means I'm going to cry less, because when my friends graduated in December, I already cried too much then. So I don't know. We'll see what the rest of the week has in store for me. So it's Thursday, and I just finished my final project ever of my undergraduate career. Ignore my bed behind me. I'm washing my sheets. Yeah, I just checked on it. It's obviously not the best, but we're in quarantine. There's not much I can do about this. It's a little out of focus. I could have tried to make it a little more in focus, but it's with the camera I'm not super familiar with, so like I'm giving myself the slack, and I'm going to let my professor know about that as well. And this feels weird, submitting my final assignment kind of ever. I have one more final after this, but I'm gonna do that later this afternoon, and I'm actually gonna be done a day ahead of schedule because I thought I was gonna need today to finish editing and stuff, and I don't. So yeah, that feels pretty great actually. And now to type in the final comments with a couple of disclaimers, I guess. Okay, I am done typing up my comments, and I'm actually gonna take a clip for Instagram because I want to show me submitting my final project ever. Well, at least for my undergrad. Who knows if I'm gonna go to grad school. I'm gonna do that real quick and then I'll be back. It's done. I have submitted it. Look at that. That is submitted. That is my final project of my undergrad career, and it feels so satisfying. It's a little after 3, it's like 3:12, and I'm about to start my last final, and I have 100 minutes to answer 60 questions. Yeah, I'm about to take my last final, and once I'm done with this, I'm done with college. I have nothing else to turn in. This is the last thing I have to do for my oh my gosh. Okay, we're not gonna freak out. We're gonna take my final for personal finance, and I will update you guys when I'm done. Here we go. I just finished question 60, which is the last question of my final, and I have 22 minutes left in the exam. I don't want to confuse myself by going over everything because I feel like that's going to confuse me. Some of the stuff wasn't super familiar, but since this is open note, I got to look some stuff up in my notebook and in the textbook. Well, technically it's open everything, like it says books, notes, and slides. So I looked a bunch of stuff up because like certain questions were just phrased weird and I needed a little more clarity. I'm hoping for a 50 and above. How realistic do I think that is? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to do the really scary thing right now of submitting my final and hoping that I did well. I used 80 minutes out of the total 100 minutes, well almost 80 minutes out of the total 100 minutes, and this is one of the longest times I've probably ever spent on a final. Take a deep breath, send up a quick prayer before I hit submit. So okay, we're gonna hit submit. Okay, I have a 58 out of 60. I'm gonna go see what the two, okay, one of those I misread, so I can understand why I got that wrong. I second guessed myself with the second one with calculations. Me and math don't go together very well, and I didn't remember if I put all the numbers in right, so I do know why this is wrong. With that final, let's go look at my grade, and if nothing changes, if she doesn't go in and change anything else, I have ended this class with a 98.43, which is really good. This is like the best I could ever expect to do on a math class, like a finance, like money related class. If you know me, you know I'm not great at math. This makes me really happy. The only other thing I have to know, like I haven't gotten my grading back yet for my multimedia classes. My multimedia class has 3 assignments that are ungraded so far. Previously I've gotten 28 out of 30 for both my other assignments, for my first 2 assignments, so I'm hoping to get higher scores. If not, we're just gonna have to settle for an A-, which I'm not too happy about, but that's just because I'm very Asian. That's it. I'm done. I've turned in the last thing. I'm no longer a college student. Wow, that's weird. Well, it's been a few days. So after I turned everything in on Thursday, I just came downstairs and I read webtoons, and that's kind of what I've been doing basically since Thursday. I have caught up with one, started another one. Ooh, that reminds me, I actually have passes to read 2 chapters from one of them, and gotten about 100-something chapters into another one. So really into webtoons right now. None of them are Lore Olympus. Someone's gonna ask again. None of them are Lore Olympus. I don't know how to explain why I haven't started it. I prefer manga style art, and if you know me, you'll understand why. It has nothing to do with the story of Lore Olympus. I like Greek mythology. It's just that, I don't know, something about the style of art I think is not quite my style, but I will give it a try once I'm a little more into like the stuff that I've been reading, at least once I've caught up with my stuff. So yeah, it's been weird not to have stuff due. A couple people have already heard me say this, but it's been really weird. I don't really know what to expect from now on. Quarantine has been extended in my state, so who knows what's gonna happen. I have an interview on Thursday, a 3rd interview with a company, so hopefully a job comes out of that. I've just sent out a few more applications just for other things, but yeah, it's a weird time to be graduating into, and I don't think it's hit me quite yet that I'm done with school. I have no idea what else I can do to kind of make it a little more real for me. So what I really need to be doing is I need to be writing. Have I been doing that? No. Have I been reading the book that I'm supposed to be reading for Asian Readathon? No. Have I been reading a ton of webtoons? Absolutely. And that's fine because I've graduated, and until I get a job, this is gonna be my life. Sort of. I will be more productive. I promise. I will actually do stuff. That's what it's been like in the last week of my undergrad. So this is a little different from the rest of the video. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do this, and in the end I decided that this was something that I wanted to acknowledge, because obviously with everything going on in the world right now, it's really hard to be grateful for things, and even though I don't feel entirely like I've graduated, I think I should take the time to acknowledge a lot of the people who have helped me over these 4 years and people who have made a big difference in my life. And this is not a comprehensive list of everyone who has ever helped me. This is just, when I was making this list, these were the people who stood out to me, and I think they deserve to be thanked. So to end this on a really cheesy note, I am gonna do a bunch of thanks. I have my laptop right here, and I'm going to do my best to read it without potentially getting emotional. If you didn't make it onto this list, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. I have nothing against you. These were the people that I felt best exemplified the experience I had in college, and the people who, like I said, made the best kind of impact on my life. So we're going to start with faculty. Thank you, Dr. Dixon, for being the best advisor I could ever have asked for our conversations about being missionary kids, and for all our talks about travel and about my future. I'm really sorry my senior sem paper was so long. Thank you, Dr. Ark, for being the best boss I could have asked for at the Pulse. You have pushed me to be so much more confident in my skills and to be a better leader and writer all the time. You're the reason why I became so confident at my job there. Thank you, Professor Zachary, for loving my love of literature and for never being scared of the weird conversations I have and the weird things I bring up in class as we read the books. I have made great friends because of your class, Kami being one of them. Dr. Oswald Wilkins, thank you for teaching my favorite class I've ever taken at Messiah College, Communication Theory. I still get super excited when I can apply something to real life and when I can identify something. You have taught me so much and I will never take that for granted. Thank you, Professor Hassler-Brooks, for teaching me so much more about young adult literature and for pushing me to see beyond what I already see. Thank you, Professor Hermling, for teaching me so much about a culture I did not know very much about. I will always have fond memories of taking your class, and I look forward to one day being able to call you doctor. And lastly, even though you no longer teach at Messiah, thank you, Dr. Petrovich, for encouraging me and empowering me to pursue a hobby I've always had. I think of you often when I sing, and I will always have fond memories of our conversations. And now moving on to my friends. Thank you, Jemmy, for being the best friend I never knew I wanted and I'm so blessed to have. You challenge me to be a better person every day. And I have so much peace knowing that you can educate my future children one day. Thank you, Liz, my fellow book nerd and type 1. Thank you for taking me in as a friend and as family. You have been a wonderful addition to my life. Thank you, Hannah, for telling me about Messiah, because you're the reason why I'm here, and what a shame it would be if I ended up at Liberty. We've been friends for about 8 years now, and I'm really thankful that I was able to share so much of my teenage life with you. Thank you to my OG Pulse girls, Allie, Zoe, Maddie, and Dakota. We've taken so many classes together and laughed through so many of them together and so many other experiences. I really hope our group chat never dies. Thank you, Dan and Abby, for just being you and for being in my life. You both know how special you are to me and how much you mean to me. Maggie, thank you for being a great roommate and for being a great writer friend, always pushing me to write more and to write better. You know my work better than pretty much anyone else in the world, and I know I can always trust your honest opinion. Thank you also for being my one anime buddy at college. Shay, thank you for being sweet and wholesome and pure and for being a wonderful friend and pushing me to always see the best in people. Even though we've drifted over the years a little more than I would like, you've still been a wonderful friend to me and I can't wait to see where the next chapter of your life takes you. Charmaine, thank you for being my other half, my better half. And thank you, Brian, for letting her be my other half and my better half. Kami, thank you for being opinionated and for being willing to hear my opinions too. Our conversations will never cease to be thought-provoking, hilarious, laughter-filled, and also very educational. I will miss our random long chats in the middle of the day, and I will continue to recommend you books. Lydia, thank you for working with me that one summer and cleaning toilets with me. Thank you for all the junk food and for the multilingual insults I heard when I went through my breakup. You also have awesome hair. Will and Ivy, thank you for being you, for being friends I speak Chinese with, and for our unique friendships that are never questioned. To my union supervisors, I've learned so much from you guys and it's been a great pleasure to have worked with you guys during my time in college. To my fellow Pulse and media people, thank you, Amelia, for putting up with me missing deadlines all the time and for being my work wife. I've learned so much about story design because of you. Thank you, Amy, for being a great boss and for making me laugh all the time. You introduced me to TikTok and I simultaneously thank you and blame you for that a little bit. Thank you, Kai, for the best headshots I will ever receive in my life and for the fountain pen I promise I will eventually learn how to use properly. Thank you to my editors, Celica, Kendra, and Brian, for continuously putting up with me when I'm stressed and for producing so much wonderful content for the magazine. It would not be what it is without you guys. I have a wonderful team and I thank you all so much for your work for it. And especially you, Brian, for taking over my role as I leave. You're gonna do amazing things and I look forward to seeing what the magazine becomes under your leadership. To my family, thank you, Mom and Dad, for sending me halfway around the world and for always being encouraging and supportive and for everything that you've ever done for me. Thank you, Phoebe, for being a great sister and a great friend, for all your pictures and videos of Pippa and of your book mail, for yelling at me to go to bed and to write more, and for dubbing me the original poopy head. Josh and Mo, thank you for preparing me for college in ways I didn't realize were so important, and thank you for always welcoming me home with open arms. Your hugs and your cats are greatly missed. Audrey, thank you for being the little sister who's not really so much my little sister because you're so much taller than me, for being so much like me and so different from me at the same time, for sharing my love of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and for teaching me the few things I know about posing in front of a camera. I'm no longer a college student. I've graduated.